Hello and thanks for watching, tuning in today to the TMC Newsroom. This is Rich Tehrani and I am coming to you from the Cloud Expo at Jacob Javits Center in Manhattan. And today on the program we've got Tom Lounibos, who's with Soasta. He's the president and CEO. Tom, how are you?
Great. Nice to be here. Thanks, Rich.
So can you give me a little bit of information about your company, please?
Yeah, we're kind of a new company that's been around only for 3 years, and the whole concept behind the company is the cloud. We use the cloud to test websites for customers like Hallmark and Mattel and TurboTax, both enterprise companies and a lot of young and up-and-coming web application companies that try to simulate web traffic hitting their site so that they can understand whether or not the site has latency or may even crash under huge loads. And so in a matter of minutes, we can spin up 1,000 servers that may create 1 million users hitting a site. They'll test it for 4 or 5 hours on an on-demand service and then tear it down and only pay for the testing that they use. And it keeps people from spending a huge amount of money on test labs and air conditioners and all the servers and all the people associated to it. It's disruptive is the best way of looking at it. It's a good way to get better quality out of websites while at the same time maintaining your costs.
So testing as a service or cloud testing?
Cloud testing is, we coined the phrase of cloud testing. Somebody asked me the other day how did we come up with it. I said it was intuitive. We're in the cloud and we're doing testing. Most of the applications are not in the cloud. Some of our customers are in the cloud and some of them are behind firewalls. But this is a whole new category, and it's really changing the way that most everybody that is building web applications today are testing them. And it's a hot market right now. The Wall Street Journal just named us one of the hottest companies in America, VC-backed companies in America.
That's great.
So pretty excited about it.
Yeah. So we talked off camera about a situation where a website was hit with hundreds of thousands of users. Are we able to talk about that particular company?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, it's a great story because, especially this week, because TurboTax, I think we all know that they handle about 25 million tax filers every year, and we should all know that all of us are late in filing. So a couple years ago, they on April 15th had a huge burst of people at 10:15 at night on April 15th hit their website and crash their site. Caused 300,000 people to miss their tax filings in 2007. Wow. It was all over the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. More importantly, and probably more interestingly, it caused the IRS to extend the tax filings for 300,000 wow. TurboTax customers. And so subsequently, they understand performance and the impact of bad performance. And so today, the last couple of months, we've been pushing hundreds of thousands of users at their websites every day to give them a better understanding of where they may be a little slow or a little fast, and it's really been helpful for them, and it's kept their site up the last couple of years, so it's an exciting kind of story.
Yeah, that really is. And so you're able to leverage all of the benefits of scalability and elasticity that the cloud provides without, it sounds like, drawbacks. Are there some drawbacks that I'm not realizing?
No, you're spot on. I mean, I used to say on my blogs a couple of years ago that it's the killer app for cloud computing because, you know, when people are trying to make the decision to deploy in the cloud right now, they're looking at things like data security or SLAs or reliability or standards, all those kinds of elements. Well, none of them apply to the testing community. When you're dealing with data in the test community, you're dealing with test data, which people are less concerned about the security related to. We're only using it for 4 or 5 hours at a time, so the performance of it, if a server's bad, we just go out and get another server. And so there's really no downside risk, and it gives you the ability, all the benefits of you only paying for what you use. It gives you an amazing elasticity, so you can do millions of users. And as much as its elasticity going up, it's also in tearing it down. So most of our customers will only pay for 4 or 5 hours during a day of testing, tear it down, and maybe test the next day or the next month or whatever it may be. So it's kind of a perfect use case for cloud.
Does pricing change during the day?
Not during the day. It depends on the load. You know, if you're doing light loads, you could start off with just $1,000 an hour, and if you're doing a heavy, millions of users, it may go up quite a bit up from there. But what you get for it is so interesting to our customers because they no longer have to have hundreds of servers in the lab.
Sure.
and they don't have to worry about the infrastructure. And probably more importantly are our people, because we've got some of the best performance engineers in the world. You know, not many people have actually simulated 1 million users hitting MySpace.
Right.
And so performance is an art form of trying to understand where the latency is.
Sure.
And so our guys really know it really well. So our guys build the test, run the test, and then you get this real-time intelligence that come out of these tests.
Now, what about at night? Do the rates change after midnight or anything like that?
Well, it's an interesting thing. We're starting to think about that. Most testing is done at night, although in TurboTax's case and a lot of our customers, we actually test live production sites. And so in TurboTax's case, we were testing during the middle of the day, as 25,000 other filers were actually online. We had 300,000 simulated users hitting the site. So it's not unusual for us to do daylight testing, but we do nighttime. And then you also get loads from all around the world. So, you know, what's daytime today here may be load generated in Singapore or in Hong Kong or in the UK. And so we are beginning to look at pricing, though, at different times, at peak hours versus low period times.
Because the more popular you become, the more contention you're going to have for your resources as well.
Well, we're a big consumer of cloud resources. We've provisioned over 400,000 servers in the last 12 months, and so a lot of it's with EC2, but we use Rackspace, we use Azure, now that they're out with 6 new data centers. We also use IBM's new data centers in Raleigh and in Germany. So we, you know, our view here is that most people know us because we are a cloud hog. You know, we need servers every day, and I'm always looking for another 1,000 servers from some folks. And so we're a good barometer of how fast the cloud is actually growing, because we're consuming a lot of the capacity ourselves.
And what's next for the company?
Just continued growth. We just opened up London. We're starting to look at Asia, and you know, on one hand, we're in the cloud space, but we don't really follow cloud applications per se. We follow a lot of mobility, so iPad applications. We were testing before iPad actually was released. Every event becomes pretty big. Here in the United States, you've got the Super Bowl, and you got Father's Day and Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. But overseas, you've got the World Cup. You've got horse racing, you've got a lot of betting, got a lot of gaming in Asia going on, so we're beginning to go outside of our borders here in the United States, hit Europe first, then head over to Asia and China. We just did our first test in China actually last week, so we're pretty excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being on the program today. This was great.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.